challenge. It's all from me. I hope you enjoy your session. Hello, this is me in New South Wales with the promise commentary on the distributed cognition paper. So I hope this works. Yeah, I'm just going to pick up a few highlights from the paper, which is partly or mostly drawn from some work by Edward Hutchins on distributed cognition, so that's sort of where it comes from. Sorry, it's Edwin Hutchins. I just had to organise my working space here to glance across and check his first name. The whole idea of distributed cognition fits in very well to what we were talking about last session, about the human technology as an active relational pair, and really the paper runs against the idea that's been dominant in psychology anyway, that cognition just happens in the brain. Basically, it happens in interactions between people and things, and that's the central part of this paper. So the paper just outlines some crucial things about distributed cognition. Talks about cognitive processes being social, the interaction between the internal and the external, and the way that cognition thinking, I suppose you could say, crosses across time and space. So there are some of the sort of central ideas listed down quite clearly, and I've picked out a couple of quotes that I think are very powerful on this third or fourth reading of the paper. So Holland and Hutchins and all say, just like a blind person's cane, so well-designed work materials become integrated into the way people think, see and control activities. And I think that sort of made me reflect back on our discussions about everyday technologies. I think we talked about biros and axes and things like that, things that are very well integrated actually into the things we do. Perhaps not so some newer technologies. Another quote that I jotted down that I thought was very important was, the environment people are embedded in is a reservoir of resources for learning, problem solving and reasoning. Both those quotes, by the way, are on page 178, and I thought they were, for this time round, they stuck out as the most significant things. Last session I talked about tools and how they leave the mark of our use upon them, and if you remember, I was talking about the chips in the cutting edge of the spade or the greasy marks on top of an iPhone. And when I read further into this and the real emphasis given to the history of use in human-computer interfaces, I thought, yeah, that's the same thing. Of course, we have some examples of that. You can probably think of things like bookmarking, histories on web searches, and similar aggregations of what we do on social networking sites. So I think they're all very interesting things and interesting things to consider when we're thinking about technology, and particularly when we're thinking about the future of technology. So the whole idea of graphic representations of history of use I thought was very, very interesting altogether. When reading the descriptions of PAD++, I was reminded once again, as I was last time, of how actually, in some ways, Prezi does that. If you use Prezi, you're able to sort of scale the information in the sort of order that you want to present it. Of course, it doesn't learn your history of use, but you're able to organise it as an environment for yourself. So people form a tightly coupled system with their environment. I like that, and I particularly like the idea of space as a resource to be used, and the way we sort of offload memory into it. And working in a slightly impoverished environment here in an apartment in New South Wales, I organise my workspace, so I've got a few key points on old-fashioned strips of paper which I had laid down across the front of the table in front of me. To the right, my copy of the Hutchins paper. So I was kind of exploring as I was going along how I make space work for me, particularly in an alien environment. Sometimes it can be quite a challenge. It's all from me. I hope you enjoy your session. Bye.